You know what, guys? You guys are absolutely flawesome. Right? So you are your flawesome, and flawesome is an individual who embraces their flaws and knows that they're awesome regardless. So we are a flawesome group of people this morning, and family, as you deal with losing your mother-in-law. So that's in my prayers. This morning, are you enthusiastic? I am. I'm bullish and enthusiastic about Colorado Springs. You know, we've lost some businesses. Businesses have come and everything in between. And we know sometimes there can be some sinister forces behind us that really put monkey wrenches in our movement. And sometimes just things happen, right? But we still have the responsibility to remain enthusiastic. Walter Chrysler says, I feel sorry for the person who can't get genuinely excited about his work. Not only will they never be satisfied, but they will never achieve anything worthwhile. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And lastly, Charles Schwab said that people can succeed at almost anything for which they have enthusiasm. So enthusiasm is really a touch point of movement in any enterprise and life in general. I have to be enthusiastic with my wife, Michelle, and I'm going to tell you, because if I'm not, my day doesn't sort very well. I don't know how many of you guys are married or have significant others or whatever, but those relationships create really the momentum for going forward in whatever you do throughout your day. There's 4 quick ways that you can keep and be enthusiastic. Number 1, take responsibility for your own enthusiasm. Don't have to have someone pump you up to be enthusiastic. First of all, if you're in a business you're not enthusiastic about, it's probably time to think about whether you're in the right business or not, because your business should generate enthusiasm in your life. Positive people are positive because they choose to be. Because they choose to be. So I'm going to be positive because that's just where I want to be. And secondly, like Mariano, he and I are 2 of the oldest people on screen here. We just don't have the mind space for negativism, right? Mariano, it takes way too much energy to be negative, so we don't have the mind space. Number 2, act your way into feeling. If you want to be enthusiastic, you need to start acting that way. I tell people all the time, they say, oh, I just love my job. I say, well, why don't you tell your face? Because you don't look very in love with your job. There is another signal that you're sending out when you're telling me how much you love what you're doing. Anyone else ever seen that? I mean, people, I just love my job, and they look so sour and so, if you wait for the feelings before acting, you may never become enthusiastic. Number 3, believe in what they do. Believing in what you're doing, focusing on these positive beliefs will help you to act and to speak positively about what you're doing. You got to believe in it, right, Elijah? You got to believe in what you're doing. No, if you don't believe in it, let's have a talk. And maybe it's time to pivot. And there's no shame in pivoting. So lastly, spend time with other enthusiastic people. If you show me the 6 people in your life that impact and influence you the most, I can tell you everything about your life and everything about who you are. The 6 closest people. Dennis Waitley says enthusiasm is contagious. It's difficult to remain neutral or indifferent in the presence of a positive thinker. And lastly, Bill Gates says, what I do best in my business is share my enthusiasm. I hope I've shared some enthusiasm with you this morning. It's Tuesday morning, VetNet. The world is waiting for us. Don't you dare disappoint.